Let's bring in David Neeleman, founder and CEO of Breeze, who joins us from Islip, New York, where you guys are announcing an expansion in your service. David, tell us a little bit about why you believe this part of the country, that tri-state area, is ripe for your expansion.
Well, I'm very well familiar with this area, having founded JetBlue. And I always looked at Islip and thought it was very interesting. And there's about 2.8 million people that live in this part of the country. And there's just a lot of migration between the Mid-Atlantic area and New York. And so, we announced today Norfolk and Charleston nonstop service from $39 here starting in February. So we think it's going to do awesome. And we have a lot of other kind of similar destinations. We just fly to places where there are no nonstop service, and it's been so well received by our customers.
Hey, David, I want to ask you about what you're seeing with regard to Omicron and the COVID-19 cases, as we've seen an increase around the country. Is that slowing down demand at all, or is this becoming what I hear from more people in the airline industry, at least with domestic travel? It's sort of a known entity, and we're just adjusting to it.
Yeah, I think every time you have something new come up, like Omicron, people take a hesitation. There may be a couple of days of hesitation, and the markets are reacting today to some good news. We think, and this was my hunch from the very beginning, that it was a much weaker version. And I think people are just kind of going on with life. They've got vaccines. We have our protection measures in place, and I think so many people just want to return to normal life. And I'm just really relieved that it's looking like Omicron is not nearly what people had feared it was. So, it's a lot of pent-up demand out there, and people want to, kind of get back to normal.
And is it the same thing with the face mandates now that they've been extended into March? One of those situations where it has been, to a certain extent, accepted. If it's going to be part of the air travel experience, it's not that it's been taken away, it's just being extended?
Yeah, and I'm glad it was extended for only about 6 weeks or whatever. It was, just from kind of the 20th of January to the middle of March. These 6-month extensions obviously were more concerning. So I think it's right and fair to kind of say, let's give it another 6 weeks or so to see how it goes. But at some point in time, we just have to decide, okay, you're immune compromised, you're concerned about it. Let's provide you an N95 mask. You're on a safe environment of an airplane. And, for those that aren't concerned or aren't in the category of risk, then, they can just go about their normal lives. So I hope we'll get to that point, because everybody wearing kind of a cloth mask isn't really doing, what isn't really protecting people the way they need to be if they're immune compromised.
David, one last question. Last time we talked with you, you were in Alabama taking delivery of your first Airbus of America built A220. You're going to put it into service later this year. But eventually, as you add more of those into your route structure, do you expect to be adding service on those A220s, let's say out of Florida into some destinations in Central or perhaps even popular destinations in Northern South America?
Absolutely. Florida to Central and South America is absolutely markets that we can fly. I think even in Islip today, I think a lot of those West Coast markets make a ton of sense. Being in Arizona or California, just imagine flying out of this part of the country and going, nonstop to some of those places. So that airplane gives us a tremendous amount of flexibility because of its 3,500 mile range.